Welcome to my YouTube automotive channel. In today's video I'm sitting in a 2012 Ford Fusion and I will show you how to remove and replace the radio unit. This video will apply to Ford Fusions made from 2010 all the way up to 2012. Okay, so to start, first you'll want to leave the cover of this small compartment on top of the dashboard and remove this rubber flooring. Now this is just held by a couple of plastic tabs. You just want to pretty much pop it out and remove it. And now you will get access to two 8mm screws, one here and one on the other side. So you'll want to remove those two screws. Now the idea is you have to remove this top trim piece to be able to remove this piece surrounding the radio, just because there will be two screws just under it. And then once this top piece is removed, you will also have to pop out these bottom plastic pieces to be able to remove the plastic surrounding the radio. So it's a bit of work, but nothing too hard. Okay, so once you have these two screws out, you'll want to pop out this piece. Now you have to be careful. I would suggest using something like this, a plastic trim remover. That way you won't damage or make scratches to the dashboard. Your other option is using a flat screwdriver, but in that case you have to be very careful. One more thing to notice, most likely you will not have to disconnect the hazard lights or the airbag sensor here. But in case you can't access the screws under this plastic trim and you decide to disconnect the airbag, it's a good idea to first disconnect the battery, just because you will most likely get airbag light on, which will have to be then cleared by the OBD2 scanner. So, but like I said, you'll be able to access the screws without disconnecting everything. Okay, so you just want to pry this piece out. I started already. You want to go all around it and pop it out. Okay, just like that. Okay, just under it, you'll see here, you'll have two screws. They will both be 7mm. Okay, let me leave this. So one here and one here. So you should have enough space just to remove those screws without detaching everything. If not, you have to pop out all this around and disconnect two plugs, and then before that disconnect the battery. But you don't have to do it. Okay, once you have these two guys out, the next thing to do before you can start popping this major piece, you want to first pop out this chrome piece surrounding the shifter, and then once you do that, you'll be able to pop out this piece and this piece. So same thing, just get under it and pop it out. There's a couple of clips holding it in place. Very easy to do. But you have to be careful not to break those clips. Okay, see, just like that. So there are the clips, you see. Okay, so once you have the chrome piece off, then you want to pop out just this portion. So I already did this side, so you just want to use a flat screwdriver this time to get under it here and pretty much just pop it up, you see. And then you will get access to this other piece, which also has to be removed. And now once this is loose, then you want to completely pop out and remove this piece. Now again, you want to pry it from underneath here and then here on the sides. Now in this case I'm using a flat screwdriver, just because this plastic tool is too weak and it's breaking. This is not too easy to do, to be honest. I just want to pry it off and then completely remove it. I'll have to use both of my hands not to break anything. this is the idea. Okay, you want to completely remove this piece. Okay, maybe I can do it with one hand actually. Okay, just be careful, there is still some wires connected to the cigarette lighter, so you don't damage them. You can just put this here on the side. Okay, and once this is removed, you can just pop off this complete faceplate all the way. Again, there's just a bunch of plastic clips holding it in place. I'll show it to you here. So you see those are the clips on both sides, couple of them. Okay. Now there is a bunch of electrical connections here in the back for climate controls and things like that. Now I'm pretty sure you won't have to disconnect all that. You just have to disconnect this connector right here, and you'll be able to remove this enough to access the radio and remove it. So there is like a black tab here on the top which you want to press, and then just pull this out. Right now this will have lots of play. And now the last thing to remove the radio, you just have to remove these 4 7mm screws which are holding it in place, or if you are replacing the radio screen, you will have also 4 7mm screws. Once the screws are out, you can completely pull out the stereo. To completely remove it, you'll just have to disconnect a couple of wires. So this one will have this tab here in the middle. You just want to press it and pull it straight out. If it was never removed, it might be a bit of a challenge. Okay, same thing with this one. There is a tab. This one, same thing. Okay, and this is the antenna which you just have to pull out. And now you can completely remove the stereo. Like I said, to remove the screen, same thing, 4 screws and a couple of wires in the back, and that's it. Now, one thing to remember, if you're replacing this factory radio with another factory radio from a different Fusion, make sure to get the radio code, because if you just plug in another factory radio, you might be asked for a code and then you'll be in trouble. Now, to get the code, you will need a serial number of the radio and a serial number of the donor vehicle. If you are buying it online or on a car salvage, they should be able to give you the radio code. Your other option is call a Ford dealer with the donor vehicle serial number and the radio serial number and ask for the code. Usually you have to pay for that, but that's the other way of getting it. If you're replacing this radio with aftermarket radio, then you will have to get the proper wiring harness, and you'll have to get the radio kit made for a 2010 to 2012 Ford Fusion. I hope this helps. Thank you for watching this video. I hope it was helpful and educational. If it was, please like it and consider subscribing to my YouTube automotive channel. On my channel there is lots of how-to videos, do-it-yourself videos, car reviews, product reviews and other similar automotive topics.